performance and structure of Steyr diesel engine with using special equipment and tools. Disassembly of diesel engine. Beginning from the inlet pipe of intercooler, loose the bolt of band and the clip for tightening inlet pipe of intercooler and take off the inlet pipe of intercooler. Disassemble the bolts for oil inlet pipe, flange or turbocharger and loose the oil return pipe clip. And then dismantle the nuts and take off the turbocharger. Dismantle the front rear exhaust manifold. Remove the oil cooler cover and take off the cover gasket. Loosen the oil cooler bolts and take off the oil cooler. And then dismantle the oil filter. Mount and supporting plate of the diesel engine and hoist the engine onto the turnover bracket. Loose the clip for connecting pipe of oil gas separator. Disassemble the oil gas separator subassembly. Loose the clip and take off the rubber pipe of thermostat. Loose the tensioning and tightening bolts and disassemble the tension pulley subassembly. Take off the V-belts and disassemble the motor by loosening the tension bolts and supporting bolts. Loose the bolts and disassemble the water pump. Loose the bolts and dismantle the pulley and the damper. Loose the bolts and dismantle the starter. Loose the bolts and dismantle the inner pipe of smoke limiter. Dismantle the water outlet pipe and gasket. Dismantle the bolts, fuel return pipes, clip bolts for high pressure pipe and high pressure pipe subassembly in the order. And then dismantle the screw with fuel passage and the fuel pipe assembly. Turn over the engine body through an angle of 180 degrees. Loose the tightening bolts and dismantle the retainer for oil sump. Dismantle the oil sump and gasket. Dismantle the Steiner, gasket and relief valve in order. Turn over the engine body through another angle of 180 degrees. Loose the screw and take off the injector sub-assembly. Seal ring and gasket. Loose the bolts and dismantle cylinder head cover. And then dismantle the fuel filter sub-assembly, air compressor plug, triangle plate for intermediate gear, and seal ring in the order. Loose the screws and dismantle the camshaft cover plate. Loose screws and dismantle front oil seat and oil seal. Loose the bolts and dismantle injection pump and coupler. Dismantle bolts and rocker arm bracket. Dismantle screws, nut and cylinder head and gasket. Loose the bolts for transmission gear of injection pump. Loose bolts and dismantle air compressor and then tap out transmission shaft sub-assembly. Loose bolts and dismantle timing gear of camshaft. Loose screws and take out the intermediate gear shaft of oil pump with special tools. screws and dismantle timing gear case. Dismantle oil pump subassembly and take out valve tappet. Dismantle bolts and flywheel housing. Turn over the engine body through an angle of 90 degrees, loose connecting rod bolts and take off connecting rod cover and disassemble piston and connecting rod assembly. Turn over the engine body through an angle of 90 degrees again. Dismantle the main bearing bolts, 24 bolts in total. Knock out 3 location pins and dismantle crankcase. Then dismantle crankshaft assembly. Dismantle the bolts and camshaft, crush plate and camshaft. Dismantle the screws and 6 injectors. Dismantle cylinder liners with special tools. Dismantle cylinder head assembly. Dismantle valve, spring, inner and outer, valve collets, spring seats and inlets, outlets, valves. parts and put them in order. Check the attrition situation of main components and moving parts and find out parts which must be replaced for purchasing later. The measured parts must be put according to certain order and be marked with symbols. Measurement of connecting rod beak and bore. Theoretical size of the bore 82.028 to 82.0